Hello, welcome to this video. Here we are going to learn arrays and functions in C. While writing C program, whenever you are using functions and arrays together, then it becomes necessary to learn array and functions. So in C programming, you can pass an individual array element or an entire array to the function as an argument or parameter. When an individual array element is to be passed to the function, then it is to be mentioned with array index. That is, it will act as good as a in single variable. For example, like this. In syntax, fun is the function name. That is, in a function call, we simply pass array name in square bracket index semicolon. That is the this array name in square bracket index. It is individual element in that particular array which is passed as a argument to the fun function. But when an entire array is to be passed to the function, then only array name is to be mentioned. That time we don't have to mention anything with array. Only array name is to be mentioned in the function call as an argument. Syntax is like this. Fun and only array name. No square bracket, nothing. In the parenthesis, we use only array name semicolon. As we know that function do not return more than one variable. So similarly, we cannot return entire array to the main program. Means function cannot return an array. Let's write simple program. Pass an array element, that is individual array element, as an argument to the function. So first line, that is after hash include. Hash include I have not written over here, that you should consider here. So first line after hash include is function prototype void display in parenthesis int a semicolon. That this function takes one argument of kind int. In void main, I declare mark array of size 5 and comma I, that is one more variable. Using for loops for I is equal to 0 semicolon I less than 5 semicolon I plus plus. In body of for I use printf scanf, printf enter marks, scanf %d and mark of I, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this marks will be entered and it will be stored in the array mark. So like this in the output it will be stored. Now I want to display. For display I'll use one more for loop, that is for I is equal to 0 semicolon I less than 5 semicolon I plus plus, and in that I am calling this function display function, to which I am passing individual element array element, that is mark of I. So this display function will get called 5 times in the loop. Every time it will pass individual array element. So we'll look at the function that is written after void main, after main. So void display int a. So value of individual array element will be given to a. So every time when function get called, for example, when I is equal to 0, so mark of 0, that value, for example, in this case, 45 will be assigned to A. So A will act as a formal parameter and mark of I will act as a actual parameter. So that value of A will be printed by printf statement, this, and this display function will get called 5 times in the loop. So like this output will be displayed. Now we will write same program, pass an entire array as an argument to the function. So first line, that is function prototype void display int a square bracket after parenthesis semicolon. Now a square bracket, it tells to the compiler that this display function will take array as an argument, not the array element, entire array. Now in the main, we declare mark of I as array and one more variable I. Using for loop, and in that printf scanf we accept mark like this, and then using function call, that is display, and in parentheses we pass array name only, not any square bracket, only array name mark as an argument, semicolon. Then end of main. After main, we write definition for void main, void display int a square bracket, that is array. So this a empty square bracket will take entire values from mark array, copy values from mark array to the array A. So array A acts as a formal parameter to the display function, and mark as acts as an actual parameter in main function. Now in display we declare one more variable, that is int I. This I and this I are different. Both of them are local to this function. Using for loop we display mark like previous, but here we are displaying using a of I. So most important thing is that we are passing as an array as an argument to the function by passing only array name. Let's see one more program to count number of positive or negative numbers entered in an array using functions. Now already we have written this program for finding positive and negative numbers in an array, but now we are writing this using function. So in the program, in beginning we declare functions, function prototyping void positive underscore negative, that is name of function, and to which we are passing int a square bracket semicolon as an array, and another function void display as usual, what we seen in previous program, int and square bracket. Now here I am not mentioning any variable name because it is function. Only I am mentioning square bracket. That means it tells that this function is taking array as an argument. This function also taking array as an argument, but here I am mentioning it's optional. At the time of declaration or function prototyping, mentioning array name is or mentioning variable are optional. Only thing is that we should mention data type of that variable. Now in the main, this opening curly bracket of main, I declare variables over here using for loop. I entered array, that is enter array elements, scanf percent and num. Now you can enter positive, negative numbers. Now using display function call, to which I am passing num as an array, because num of 10 I declare it as an array. So I am passing display num as an array, entire array to the display function. Similarly, after that, positive underscore negative, and I'm passing num as an entire array. So here it is main function is ended. After that, void display int a. Now here I am declaring int a square. Now here it becomes compulsory to mention variable name, array name or variable name. Whereas in case of prototype, I have not mentioned it. Okay, so to display it using local variable and using for loop, I printed array values. That is whatever values that we entered. Now this is the definition of function, that is positive underscore negative, which takes array as an argument, that is a of square bracket. Then in this function I use int I comma positive number is equal to 0, negative number is equal to 0. I initialize 0, 0. That I'm using this variable as a counters for positive and negative. Then in for loop, using I is equal to 0, semicolon, I less than 10, semicolon, I plus plus. In this for loop, I'm checking if a of I is greater than 0, that is obviously number is positive. So I'm incrementing positive plus equal to 1. So it is nothing but p is equal to p plus 1. or it is nothing but p plus plus. Okay. If it is not greater than 0, so obviously it is less than 0, so number is negative. So negative is equal to negative plus 1. That get. So this is the loop where it will check number is positive or negative. Then we display here it is in the function itself. Positive number is equal to percentage, where in place of that value of positive number will be displayed. Negative number equal to percentage. In place of that negative number will be. Thank you for watching this video.